control. And that's us getting started. So when you're ready, come on now. Soles of the feet together, letting the knees fall out wide, the shoulders relax, and breathe. So you're all super, super, super welcome on into Pilates this evening. Just taking a few moments to relax, to chill out, to find the breath. Inhale and exhale. So just thinking about letting the shoulders relax, the hips relax, the knees fall open. Inhaling and exhaling. So remember, just take it at your own pace. Do whatever feels good for you. Just taking a few moments here, just any comfortable lying down position, soles of the feet together or legs out long on the mat. Seeing if you can just bring the awareness in towards the breath. Inhaling. Exhaling for 3. So just enjoying that fullness of the breath. 2. Taking one more inhale. Exhale. From there, drawing the knees in towards each other, giving yourself a little squeeze, a little stretch, just saying hello to the lower back. And then from there, grounding down with the feet, starting to find the beginnings of a bridge position. So palms face down by the sides, starting to draw the abdominals in tight, letting the shoulders relax, back of the neck long, deep, full breaths in and out. So finding that nice light engagement through the core that you can hold through class, and we'll just start off with a dynamic bridge. So grounding down with the feet, starting to peel the spine away from the floor, vertebra by vertebra. So we're just rolling up, squeezing the glutes at the top, and then really slowly lowering down. So our dynamic bridge, we're aiming to just start to warm up the body. So we're starting to feel into those major muscle groups we work with in Pilates. So working with the abdominals, with the glutes, with the quads, knees and ankles and hips stay in alignment. Lowering with control and lifting with control. So we're peeling the spine away from the floor, squeezing the glutes, chest to chin, and then slowly rolling down vertebra by vertebra. Keeping knees in line with ankles, we're rolling up, squeezing up, and rolling down again. If you want to add in the arms, feel free, letting the arms float up over the head as you lift the hips high. And as you lower a little bit harder, creates that little bit of extra stability. We have to work really hard to try and maintain control. So starting as well to feel into all of that control you have over the position of the spine, the pelvis, and the shoulders. So we're thinking about engaging the core, rolling up, rippling up. Chest moves towards the chin, shoulders slide down the back. And then rolling down again with as much control as you can. Working here for 3. So squeezing the glutes, pressing the hips high, chest to chin. Slowly release down. 2. Taking one more inhale to roll up, reach up. And 1 slow release. Perfect. Give yourself a little squeeze there, a little hug and a little stretch. And from there, we're just going to move into a little pelvic roll into a crunch. So palms face down by the sides, thinking about finding a nice light engagement through the core. From there, we're going to squeeze the abs to lift the pelvis off the mat and slowly reset. So the idea here is the whole lower half of the body stays in a tiny little ball, and we're just finding this really lovely, strong abdominal engagement. So as you contract the abdominals, that brings the top of the hips up towards the lower rib cage, making sure you both lower with control and lift with control. So it's a lovely squeezy movement, finding that power in the movement. Option to stay there. If we want to make it harder, we're going to add in a little curl as well. So taking that little pelvic roll, and then from there, taking chin to chest, squeeze, crunch, reaching forwards, and then lowering back down again. And turning into the pelvic roll, fully finishing that, for chin to chest, crunching up, and rolling down again. Head is the last thing to come down. So here we're working this nice little combo exercise. Essentially, we're doing the same thing on both sides of the exercise. So we're using the abdominals to lift the pelvis, and then we're taking chin to chest, using the abdominals to lift the shoulders of the upper body off the mat. So the idea here is that with a compound exercise, it really encourages us to finish each movement, working two different movements. So it takes the swing, the sweep out of the movement, lovely crunch, chin to chest, and then curling your way up. So move, control, squeeze in the abs, perfect. Or you can just return to that curl if you prefer. So we're getting straight into the lower abdominals and then a little bit more into the upper abdominals here. These are one of the key stabilizer muscles of the lower back. Working here for 5. So this first little section of class, we've got loads of fiery movements into the lower abdominals. 4. Lots of supine exercises, working into those deepest layer of the abdominal muscles. 3. Hard to get into. So we take lots of work here. 2. And 1 release. Grounding down with the feet here, and from there we're going to work into a nice little bridge exercise. So palms face down by the sides, hips up high, squeeze the glutes. From there we're going to drive one knee in towards the chest, slowly reset, drive the other knee in towards the chest, slowly reset. The right hand reaches up and over towards the left corner of the mat, slowly resets. Left hand reaches up and over towards the right side of the mat, and reset. So you're very welcome to stay here. We're working, driving one knee in towards the chest and the other knee in towards the chest. And then we're taking a thoracic twist. Right hand moves over to the left side of the mat, strong through the core, and then over to the right. Working here, you're very welcome to stay there. Or if you'd like to add a little bit more fire, you can start to add a bridge thrust in there as well. So we lower the hips down, and then we're going to squeeze the glutes as we reach up with the right hand, slowly roll down, and then squeeze the glutes as we take that thoracic twist with the left hand. So that's your advanced option. So a marching bridge, we're essentially asking one leg to stabilize the whole bridge position as we drive knee towards the chest. So we're getting loads of work for the quads and the glutes. They're a really fantastic exercise if you do a lot of running, if you have knee injuries, really important to strengthen the quads and the glutes. The thoracic twist, where we reach one hand up and over, we take that slight movement through the upper back. We are getting loads of work for the just mobilizing through the shoulders, and we're still focusing on keeping the hips high. If you'd like to add in that hip thrust with the thoracic twist, we're continuing to get some lovely lower body work as we go. The hips can drop as we reach up and squeeze as we reach over. Engaging the core to lower, powering up to lift. Working here, moving with control for 10. So keeping that control, 9. So really focus on those muscles that are working. So we're using the glutes and the quads and the abs. 4. 3. So getting into that lovely full body movement. 2. Just make sure you're finishing off even on both sides. Moving with control. And release. Well done. Give yourself a little squeeze there, a little hug in, a little stretch. And then from there, we're going to move back into lower abs. So lower back stays on the floor, knees over hips, shins are parallel with the mat. So option 1 here, we're just going to take a nice and easy toe tap. So lower back is on the floor, making sure the lower back stays on the floor. So remember that whenever the legs are off the floor in Pilates, the lower back stays on the floor. Tapping down and lifting with control. Option to stay there. Option if you'd like more, we're going to add a C crunch. So we're going to take chin to chest, elbows to the thighs, and then the head and the toes move away from each other at the same time. Squeeze, crunch, tapping away. So making sure the lower back stays on the floor as we crunch, elbows to thighs, and lower. If you want to make it harder again, we're going to add a double leg extension. So we're going to crunch elbows to thighs, keeping the lower back on the floor. We're going to extend the arms and the legs away from each other. And then we're going to slowly return. So this is all about controlled, squeezy, crunchy movements. Extending away, lower back stays grounded, and return. So chin to chest, squeeze, crunch, extend, and return. Working here for 10. Well done. 9. So squeeze, crunch. 8. So slow movement. 7. Squeeze and crunch. 6. So making sure the lower back stays on the floor. 5. So keep that core tight. 3. Well done. Really squeeze, crunch. 2. One more little crunch and squeeze. Extend away. And 1. Well done. Give yourself a little squeeze, a little rock and roll. Awesome stuff. From here, we're going to move into another little lower abs exercise. Arms and legs extend out long on the mat. Core is engaged. Inhale and exhale. Take chin to chest. Squeeze the core. Drive knee towards the nose and extending away. So this is our modified sprinter crunch. We're thinking about using the core to crunch as we drive knee to nose and extend away. So making sure we're lowering with control. It's the abdominals that do that contraction, little hold at the top, and then coming back again. Awesome. Make sure you're lowering with control, making sure when you come through center, you contract the abdominals. So it's the strength of the abs as much as you can that's holding you in that position. If you'd like more, we're going to sit all the way up and we're going to take opposite elbow to knee. So we're lifting all the way up with the torso, returning. So we're taking this chin to just squeeze and crunching across the body, making sure you're lowering with control and lifting with control. Chin to chest squeeze, crunch, and lower. So we're moving with control. Squeeze your way up, crunch and cross. Perfect. Working here for 10. Squeeze, crunch, and lower. 9. So really fire up those abs. Cross. 8. Well done. Chin to chest squeeze. 7. So finding that lovely strong contraction. 6. Twisting as you go at the top. 5. Well done. 4. So either variation, we're getting right into the abs. 3. 2. And 1. Nice work. Fire up the give yourself a little squeeze, a little crunch. Again, sorry. And from here, we just got a few more lower abs exercises. All right, next one is another little crunch variation down on the mat. From there, we're going to take chin to chest. We're going to reach forwards, like we're reaching forwards to the shins. Slow lower down. And then we're going to reach the fingers to the sky, crunch up and down again. So working the upper abs and the lower abs. So chin to chest squeeze, we reach forwards, getting more into the lower abs. Slowly release, hands to the sky, reach up, crunch, getting more into the upper abs. If you'd like to make this a little bit more juicy, we're going to take the legs off the floor, knees over hips, squeeze, crunch forwards, slow lower. And then we're going to reach the hands to the sky, crunch up and lower. If you want to make it harder, you can always extend the legs fully, whatever works for you. The idea here is we're taking a crunch forwards and then a crunch up. So chin to chest squeeze, making sure you've got that chin to chest movement first, and the head is the last thing to come down, making sure it's the abdominals that are working. We want to really protect the neck here. So really focus on that contraction of the abdominals. So it's almost as if as you squeeze the tummy in, you're trying to draw the lower rib cage towards the top of the hips, almost as if, well, it is exactly what's happening. You're trying to shorten the front side of the body. Working here, 5. Squeeze and crunch, 4. Well done. Chin to chest, squeeze, reach, 3. 2. And 1. Well done. Give yourself a little squeeze, a little stretch. Just take a quick little spinal twist. Left leg extends, hugging with the right knee, and draw the right knee across the body, opening out with the right arm, inhaling. And exhaling, relaxing down, full steady breaths in. And out for 3. So relaxing down with that right shoulder, inhaling. Exhaling, 2. And and 1, swapping over. So extend out with that right leg, hug in with the left knee, and we're taking that little twist on the other side. Left arm away, stretching out, and exhaling. 3, full steady. Through center, give yourself a little squeeze, and from there, both legs up into the sky. We're going to take the hands to the back of the left leg, and we're taking a single leg stretch. So we're using the abdominals to lift the shoulders off the mat as we draw the knee in towards the nose, stretching out, finding a hamstring stretch. 3, 2, 1, swapping over. So core is engaged, lower back stays on the floor, stretching into the right hamstring. So the idea here is we're working flexibility and strength. 3, 2, 1, transition, squeeze and stretch, lower back, core is engaged. 3, 2, 1, transition. So squeezing in, stretching in, great job, shoulders relaxed. 3, 2, 1, just once more on left, slowly transition, perfect, looking good at home, stretch. 3, work into those abs. 2, and 1, final time, we're going to squeeze and drive knee to nose, stretch out. 3, 2, and 1, perfect. Give yourself a little squeeze. And from there, we're going to rock up to a little crouching position. We're going to take our hinge to half Caesar. It's a nice little mobility exercise. What we're going to do from here is plant the hands, lift the hips up, and find your way into a forward fold. From there, engage the core, reach the hands up high, stretch up. And from there, we're going to bring the hands to the hips. So what we're going to do is first we're going to take a hinge. So feet are facing forwards, core is engaged. The hinge, we're lengthening the body forward, stretching forwards, body parallel to mat. From there, we're sliding the hands to the knees, dropping the hips down towards the heels. From there, the knees move forwards, untuck the toes, hips towards the heels, plant the hands behind you, press the hips high. So we're finding a squeeze of the glutes there, opening up through the front side of the body. From there, the hips drop down towards the heels, tuck the toes. As you spin the hands forwards, lift the hips up. So that's the tricky bit. We're finding that balance. Hands plant, hips lift high, and then engage the core, reaching all the way up, stretching up, and then bring hands back towards the core, lengthen forward. So the legs straight here, the body is parallel to the mat. Sliding the hands to the knees, drop the bum down towards the heels, the knees towards the mat, untucking the toes, planting the hands behind you, pressing the hips up high, squeeze the glutes, and then the hips come back down towards the heels, the toes, lifting the knees off the mat, reach the hands forwards, nice, hands plant, hips high. This is an amazing working full body mobility, flexibility, reaching up high. We'll take it a few more times. Hands to hips, hinge, lengthening forward, stretching forward. Slide hands to knees, butt to heels, knees to mats, untuck the toes. Hands press the hips high, squeeze the glutes, powering up, strengthening the back body. Hips back down, tuck the toes, knees off the mat, hands forwards, find that balance, perfect. Hands down, hips high, engage the core, lengthen up. One more time. So we're going to take hands to the hips, engage the core, lengthen forward, sliding hands to knees, butt to heels, knees to mats, untucking the toes, hands behind you. Engage the glutes, press the hips high, drop the hips to heels, tuck the toes, prepare hands forwards, knees up. Nice. And from there, hands forward. Engage the core, lift and stretch. And bring hands to heart. Perfect. Looking good. Right, we're going to move into some lower body here. So make sure you've got space in front of you and behind you. We're going to move into a curve. Foot is in the center of the mat. Left foot, drop down. Make sure this right knee and right ankle doesn't align. You might want to move that left foot back a bit if you find that right knee is moving. We drop the left knee down, squeeze the glutes. From there, you can step forwards, and then we're going to step into a forwards lunge, making sure this left knee stays stable over this left ankle. We don't want it to move forwards. The back knee drops down, squeeze the glutes to lift, and then we're stepping back again, back into that curtsy lunge. Comes out, drop down, lift, forwards, and then carefully controlled step forwards, drop the left knee down, squeeze, come back up. If this gets too much, if any of these movements, the curtsy lunge or the forwards lunge is too much, I'm going to take a backward stepping lunge, drop the left knee down, squeeze the lift, and then move back again. So that's your modification, is the backward stepping lunge makes you engage the glutes, and we step forwards. You want to make it, I'm going to move from a curtsy lunge, right? We're going to see if we can pendulum the body forwards. This is where we're using our step forwards. Then we move into that knee drop. Carefully step forwards. Left knee drops down. Squeeze. Carefully move forwards. Left foot forwards. Squaring the hips. Right knee down. Squeeze and fire up. Sending the hips down. Dropping down. Squeeze. And see if you can carefully engage. Move forward. Squaring the hips. Dropping the right knee down. Squeeze. Fire up those glutes. Step back again. Perfect. Working here for 5. So really the legs here, getting a little bit of balance as well. If you're finding that transition is a tricky transition, don't worry if you need to stop halfway. Don't worry if you need to modify by moving back to a rear lunge. Almost there. 2 and 1. All right, let's move on to the other side. So left foot comes into the center of the mat. The right foot is coming out to the side. We're going to curtsy lunge. So we're dropping that right knee down, squeezing the glutes to lift, stepping forwards, and then we take a forward-facing lunge. Hips are squaring, the left knee drops, lift, step back to starting. So there we go, that's our curtsy lunge, really firing up the outer glutes, and then stepping forwards, forward-facing lunge. Right knee stays stable, left knee drops. Option to stay there. Remember your modification. The left foot is in the center of the mat. We take a backward stepping lunge, drop the right knee down, squeeze the glutes to lift, step forward again. You're still getting loads of work, really firing up the quads and the glute. That's your modification. Advanced option is the left foot in the center of the mat, right foot out to the sky. We drop, and then we carefully pendulum forwards. You have to really fire up the standing leg. Then we carefully try and pendulum back. Awesome, looking good. So it's a really lovely fluid movement. When you come up, feel the quads, the abs engage. If you can move forward with control. Awesome stuff. Really nice. So here we're firing up the quads and the glutes. We're getting particularly into the outer glutes. We're getting balance work as well. So working in lots of body parts here. We're getting loads of work for the legs. Really important for both healthy lower back and for the knees. We're also getting loads of balance work. All balances are good for the abdominals. Also a super important skill to develop. Working here at 5. Moving with control. 4. Squeeze to lift. 3. Well done. And 1. Give yourself a little shakeroo there. A little shake out. Awesome stuff. All front cam's gone, but side cam. Right, okay, so we're going to move a running into a goddess. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a school sort of side one. From there, we're going to drive the left foot up to the chest, step out wide, both are facing out at this point. The hips come down low, squeeze to lift, and then we return to that starting position. Left knee lifts. From there, we take the running man. So if you want to take it deeper, we bend that right leg. Hand comes to the earth. Left foot lifts, squeeze. Carefully step back with control. Hips sink down low, and then we squeeze to lift. Make sure you're not just dropping the hips, you're lowering and lifting. Left knee back up, balance. Bending the right knee. Left knee up with control, core engaged. Stepping out wide, hips low. Squeeze and fire up. Perfect. Moving with control. Finding balance. Finding strength. A running man into a knee drop. Into a wide squat. Squeezing to lift. And back again. If you want to modify, what we're going to do is we're going to take a knee drive into a wide squat, squeezing to lift, and then back into a knee drive. You can always step down halfway in between each move. You just take that wide squat, step forward to standing, and take a knee drive. So do feel free to if I miss out to step down between. Running man, a knee drop, wide squat for another 5. So just make sure you're finding that power in the movement. 4, drive knee to chest, engage the core, bending down, running man. Squeeze, lift, 3, perfect. 2, and 1, come up through center. Woo, those legs are on fire. Let's have a little play on the other side. So left foot is going to ground, right knee is going to lift. From there we take the running man. So that's when we bend the left knee. The right foot moves out behind us, maybe just some of the way, or if you can, all the way down with that right hand. Right knee lifts, and then step out wide. Both toes turn out. Send the hips down low, squeeze, and drive on up. Core is engaged, left foot faces forwards. The right knee lifts, and then we're coming down. Bending that left knee, right hand to the earth. Drive on. And then take the feet out wide, toes turn up. Send the hips down low, squeeze to lift. And returning back to that starting position. Right knee drives up. Core engages you. Drive back up. And take it out wide again. So we send the hips down low. We squeeze to lift. Core is engaged. Right knee drives up. And off we go. So we're bending that left knee. Maybe taking the right hand to the earth. Right knee drives up. Stepping out wide. Sending the hips down low. Squeeze to lift. Core engaged. Right knee up. So working here. Remember, you've got the modification of just taking in between any of the moves. You could also just miss out that running man and move to a wide squat into a knee drive. Remember, with all of these moves, don't worry about depth, don't worry about speed. It's all about finding that muscular engagement. As you lower the hips down, you really want to squeeze as you power back up. Awesome. Working here for 5. So we're going to move down to some plank-based work next. 4. Awesome. So finding that control. Squeeze and fire up. 3. Almost there. And 1. Perfect. From there, come back up to standing. Nice job. Give those legs a little shake out. Walk hands down towards the mat. Walk the feet out behind us. And find our way into a plank position. From here, we're going to walk the hands back towards the knees, coming into a panther pose. That's when the knees are hovering just an inch or so off the mat, the core is engaged, little box shape position. We're walking back out into a plank and back in. We'd like to move back. We're just going to move from a table pose, hands underneath your shoulders, and then you can just tuck the toes, hold panther for 3 seconds or so. If you'd like to take an advancement, we're going to throw in a press up. So you walk the hands back towards the heels, the hover, 3 seconds or so, feel those quads fire up. Walk the hands out, and from there, taking a bend of the elbows come out of 45. You spiral the elbows back up into that press up. So knees are hovering, we walk the hands out, little bend of the elbows, spiral back up, and back in. Remember, you can also always take a kneeling press up. That's when you drop to the knees, make sure the body weight is moving forwards, the body lowers in one line and then powers back up. So any little variations, working into upper body here, still getting loads of work for the quads, for the abs, working here, 10. So spiraling back up, 9. Little bend of the elbows, 8. Strong core, 7. Well done. 6. 5. Well, almost there. 4. 3. 2. And 1. From there, just dropping down. I'm going to find a shoulder stretch. Left hand plants, right hand reaches up. Inhale. And exhale, the right shoulder down onto the mat. The left hand walks out in front of you. Just enjoying a lovely little stretch out through the right shoulder there. And breathe, relax. Inhale. Exhale, and for 3. Deep breaths in and out. 2. Taking one more full steady inhale. Exhale. Now coming back to center. Right hand plants, left hand lifts. Inhale. And exhale, left shoulder comes down, right hand walks forwards. Deep breaths in. And out. Well done. So we're stretching out there, finding that lovely deep stretch of the shoulders. Releasing through the lower back. Inhale. Exhale, well done for 3. 2. Taking one more inhale. Exhale. And from there, come up to table, dropping the elbows down, tucking the toes, finding your way into a forearm plank. Just going to take a nice and easy forearm plank roll here. So we're using the core to stabilize as we lower the hips from one side, squeeze to lift, and come to the side. If you want to hold a forearm plank or a kneeling forearm plank, do feel free. We're aiming to just strengthen through the shoulders here, using the core to stability. So working into upper body, looking good at home. Working here for just 10. So lift up and over. These 4 elbows power into mat. 8. Find that power, that lift. 7. Up and over. 5. 3. 2. And 1. Release down with the hips. Elbows underneath the shoulders. Enjoying that lovely stretch up through the chest. Inhale. Exhale. So feeling that release with the lower back. Deep breath in. And out for 3. So full steady breath. 2. Taking one more inhale. And exhale, release. Hands under the shoulders, hips to heels. Stretching out through the whole of the spine. Deep breaths in. And out for 3. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Taking one more full steady breath in. And out. From there, chin to chest, roll on up. And send both legs out in front of you. Take a quick little stretch. So really important to find flexibility as well as strength. Left leg comes out, right foot's going to come into the inner thigh. Inhale, reaching up, angling the body over that left leg, extending out and taking a forward fold. If you'd like to take a bend in that left knee, do feel free. We're thinking about lengthening forwards. Imagine the heart reaches forwards. Inhale. Exhale to fold. Stretching out. Bring the left hip back. Deep, full breaths in. And out for 5. Inhale. Exhale, 4. So relaxing down, stretching out. Deep, full breaths in. And out. 3. 2. 1 more inhale. Exhale. Walking the hands up there. Inhale, reach up tall. And exhale, twist. Left hand to right knee. Right hand behind you, flexing that left foot. Deep breath in. And out for 3. So we're just stretching out. 2. And 1. Swapping over. Left foot comes in. Right foot comes out. Inhale, lift. Angle the body over that right leg and stretch forwards. Thinking about breathing into that right hamstring, into the lower back. Enjoying that beautiful deep stretch. Remember, if you want to have a bend in that right knee, if you need to use a strap, do feel free. Whatever at all feels good for you is perfect. Perfect. Inhale. Exhale for 3. So stretching out, reaching out. 2. 1 more inhale. Exhale. Rising on up there. Inhale to lift. Exhale. Taking the right hand over to the left knee. The left hand out behind you. Taking that lovely little mobilization through the spine, do the shoulders for 3, 2, and 1. From there, we're going to come through center, and we're just going to take a little animal pose. So the right knee is going to move out to the right corner of the mat. The right shin is coming out to 45, and the left foot coming out behind us. Make a little spiral of the legs, and then if it feels comfortable, we're just starting to fold forwards over that right shin. So really gentle little opener for the hips. Just lengthening forwards, taking that little extension through the lower back. Inhaling. Exhaling for 3. Full steady breaths in. And out 2. 1 more deep breath in. And out. Walking the hands up there. I'm just going to flip over to the side. So the left shin parallel with the mat, the right comes in. The legs and exhale. If it feels comfortable, maybe moving the body forward. So we're getting an internal and an external rotation through the hips. It's quite a good pose for noticing imbalances in the body. So often we have one hip or one leg which is a lot more flexible or a lot tighter than the others. So just exploring here. 3, inhale. Exhale, 2. And 1, come up through center there. All right, from here, we're going to move into an boat pose. So we're finding the sit bones, squeezing in the core. Hands can be behind the backs of the legs, or you can plant the hands down, or you can have the hands out in front of you. You're very welcome, just hold there. If you're feeling it, we're going to have a play with an exercise called Matador, where we're going to drop the knees down. So it's a bit like that animal pose we just came to. So we're just finding a spiral of the legs, and then we're using the core to lift up through center, and we're dropping the legs to the other side. It is quite a difficult pose, exercise. You can plant the hands behind you if that helps. Here is an amazing exercise for opening out hip mobility, as we also work on abdominal strength. If you want to just hold a boat pose, that is your modification. So do feel free, if you prefer, just to hold a boat pose. If you can, we're going to take this lovely Matador exercise, such a great exercise. Remember, you can have hands out or hands planted. We're just dropping both knees to face one way, coming up through center, dropping both knees to face the other way. Option hands planted, hands lifted, a bit of both. We're aiming to use the core to balance and lift. Perfect. Working here. 5, moving with control. 4, squeeze and cross. 3. Awesome. 2. And 1, come up through center, and we're going to roll all the way down to lie on our backs there. Perfect. From here, we're going to move into a dynamic twist. So taking the arms out wide, lower back stays on the floor, knees out over the hips, shoulders relaxed. So we're going to slowly lower the legs to one side, squeeze the core to come back through center, slowly lower the legs to the other side. Shoulders stay relaxed, core is engaged. Going to slowly lower down and squeeze up to lift. If you want to take the heels towards the bum, you can work there. If you want to make it harder, you could extend the legs up to the sky. Longer lever length makes it that little bit harder. Just make sure you're slowly lowering the legs, if you can, keeping the shoulders on the mat rather than swinging the legs. If you'd like to make it a little bit harder, we can turn it into a compound exercise. So when we lower the legs to one side, we come back through center, and then we're going to take chin, chest, squeeze, crunch, reach towards the toes, slowly lower down, arms relax down, lowering the legs to the other side, squeezing, crunch, reach for the toes, lower down, shoulders stay relaxed. The idea here is we're squeezing the core to move up through center, stretch, crunch, lower the shoulders down, and come up through center, engage the core, chin to chest, crunch, reaching for the toes, slowly lower down. Working for 10. So really squeeze, crunch, engage the core. 9, shoulders are relaxed. Slowly lowering the legs to one side, using the core. Maybe a little crunch up through center. Remember, you can stay with just a normal dynamic twist if you prefer. 5. Well done. So lovely squeezy crunch. 4. Slowly releasing. 3. Amazing, looking really good. So working to the obliques, into the lower abs, 2. And 1, give yourself a little squeeze, little stretch. From there, planting the feet down, left ankle onto the right knee. Taking the hands around the back of the right thigh towards the right shin, inhaling. And exhaling, tucking the shoulders down the back, stretching into the back of the left leg, inhaling. And exhaling. So full steady breaths in and out. So enjoying that lovely deep stretch there for 3, inhaling. Exhaling, 2. And 1, swapping over, taking your right ankle onto the left knee and finding that lovely little stretch into the other side. So finding that lovely release right down through the back of the right leg, inhaling. And exhaling. For 3, inhale. Exhale, 2. 1 more deep breath in. And out. Unraveling there, taking the peace sign fingers around the big toes, knees in towards the armpits, and have a little wiggle, a little stretch out. Thinking about releasing the shoulders down towards the mat, pressing the lower back down towards the floor, and breathe. Inhale. Exhale. So we're just opening up through the hips, stretching out through the lower back, letting the shoulders release for 3. Deep, full breaths in and out. 2. And 1. Finally, just let the soles of the feet come together. The knees fall out wide, hands come up over the head, shoulders are relaxed. And breathe. Inhale. Exhale. So really full, steady breaths in. And out. Deep, full breaths into the lower belly, into the back body, into the side body. Then the shoulders release down, the head relax. Inhale. Exhaling for 3, so just letting every part of the body relax. 2. 1 more inhale. And exhale. From there, just gently drawing the knees together, extending out with the legs. And just coming to chill out in Shavasana. So letting the feet ground down, the hips, the head, and the hands relax. Closing the eyes. And absolutely nothing to do there but chill out and breathe. So a deep, full breaths. On every exhale, letting the body ground down. The heels ground, hips ground, shoulders, elbows, and hands ground down. Letting the head relax. The eyes and the face and the jaw soften. The eyelids gently close. And just taking this time to rest, just as important as when we work hard. Taking time to let the body reset. Renew. Taking time to just relax. And counting out 5 more breaths here, in and out. Easy, steady breaths. Taking 1 more really deep, full breath in. And out. From there, drawing the knees in towards the chest, giving yourself a little squeeze, a little stretch. And rocking your way up to seated. Just letting the sit bones ground, the spine be long, perfect. Interlocking the hands, stretching up to the sky, the shoulders go down, take a lovely big full body yawn, inhale, exhale. From there, taking chin to chest, pressing the backs of the hands towards the front of the room, the shoulders go down and apart. Take a deep breath in. And then pressing the chest forward, run the shoulders, stretching back